Shabbat Shalom. The sun is out, the air is warm, and we are together, new friends and old, to join together on Shabbat and begin with traditional words, but with a little bit of a spicy, fresh take. So I invite you to turn to page 40 in your prayer books. Can't promise we'll stay there, but page 40 as we begin with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem Malchei Hasharet Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malchei Hasharet Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Boachem LeShalom Malchei Hashalom Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malchei Hasharet Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Hasuni LeShalom Malchei Hashalom Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malchei Hasharet Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Seitchem LeShalom Malchei Hashalom Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Ya la 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 Shalom Aleichem Malchei Hasharet Malchei Elyon Melech Malchei HaMelachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la la
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. There it is. So it is a wonderful day, one of the most spectacular days of the year. Tonight we are inside, and soon we will be outside. But I want you to imagine that you're outside right now. Just imagine the sun in the middle of August. It's cool, it's wonderful. It is a beautiful Shabbat. And so we turn in page 14, in our prayer books to page 14. And I want you to recognize that as we invite Sharon and Bob Rudin to come forward, they are celebrating their 52nd anniversary. But we are also celebrating them because as temple members go, come on, you guys, come on up. These are spectacular part of our community. Literally every Shabbat morning, every single Shabbat morning, these two are our ushers, welcoming people to worship with us, and we not only appreciate your relationship of 52 years, but also your commitment to Temple Israel. Again, we are on page 14. And they are here as well, honoring their niece, Evie Schutz, along with her fiancé, Scott Sonnenberg, on their wedding blessing tonight.
flickering flames of the Sabbath candles mark this moment as a sacred time, a time of warmth as our community joins us together in prayer, a time of brightness as our spirits are lifted by the melodies of our people, a time of light as we look toward the future through the eyes of our children. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, eternal source of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech
51 years.
haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Continue with Lacharodi on page 34.
Lecha dodi, לקראת כלה, נשבה, קבלה. lecha dodi, לקראת כלה, נשבה, קבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, שפיינו לך מיוחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, בשם ותפארת ונהירה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, נשבה, קבלה. 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 Rise together. Oy v'shalom aterek alai, kam v'simcha u'etzolam, toch emunei am segula. Boy chalai, boy chalai, boy chalai. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, נשבה, קבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה,
Please join me at the top of page 39. Together, all week we serve our family, our community, our interests, our daily needs. The hectic flow never stops. On Shabbat, we are called to serve our spiritual selves, so as to reconnect with the unified flow that never stops. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 42.
Ikadash meraba V'yalma divrachute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael Bagala u'bizman karib v'yimeru Amen Yehesh meraba mevorach E'olam u'lal me'almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha prichu Eila min kol bechata v'shirata Tushbichata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'yimeru Amen Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
We read together on the middle of page 45. Our kind deeds are used by God as seed for the planting of trees in the Garden of Eden. Thus, each of us, by our deeds, has the power to create our own paradise. Blessed are you, O God. And on page 49. We are loved by an unending love. We are guided by the still, small voice within us. We are loved by an unending love. A ner tamid to be tended from generation to generation. And a gentle love. Giving meaning to our existence, structure to our lives. And of all the generations who have embraced their covenant. Blessed are you, O God, who loves our people Israel with an unending love.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai you're seated, we join together in the chanting of Ve'ahavta on page 57. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha ayom alevavecha v'shinantam levadecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shokpecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
It's always wonderful when two very special people find each other in this world and come together and choose to spend their lives together. But when they bring together two pretty incredible families, that's pretty special too. And so we call to the Bima for their Ufruf wedding blessing, Evie Schutz and Scott Sonnenberg. And as they come forward, they're receiving lots of gifts, gifts of a one-year membership to Temple Israel, and a mezuzah for the doorpost of their home.
ברוכים הבאים בשם אדוני, ברכנוכם מבית אדוני.
Oh God, this couple comes before you to seek your blessing on their love. In this moment, you are surrounded by family and friends, your clergy who has loved you for many years. And in this moment, you are entering into that next stage where in just a short time you'll be standing beneath a chuppah. We pray that God will help you to create from that chuppah a home where you will see each other every day and find the blessings of life. Sanctify their love, O God. Help them to create that home built on the values of our Jewish tradition, of faith, of learning, and of community. May that chuppah, that wedding canopy, be transformed into a place of openness and hospitality, a home filled with love and happiness, a home where you will find each other's souls and know that you have the gift of peace. As together we say, Amen.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yelanu. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yelanu. Yelanu, yelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Yelanu, yelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yelanu.
We continue with our Song of Redemption on page 62.
מי כמוך בעדים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Torah, Oseh, Torah, Oseh, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. V'nehemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, ugihalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gaal Yisrael.
How's that? Better? Okay, we turn now to the middle of page 64. Together. Cause us, our Creator, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, and guide us with your good counsel, and be our shield of mercy and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Everyone, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheishet yamim עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי Shavat v'yinafash, Shavat v'yinafash, Shavat v'yinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei ha'akol, V'zocher hasei avot ve'himaot, U'mevii geula, Ivnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה
we continue on page 69. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. As you're seated, we pray silently. In the world, when we understand one another, there will be peace in the world. When we love one another, there will be peace in the world. Yeh shalom, yeh shalom, ba'olam, yeh shalom, yeh shalom. When we believe in one another, there will be peace in the world. When we learn from one another, there will be peace in the world. When we work with one another, there will be peace in the world. Yeh shalom, yeh shalom ba'olam, yeh shalom, yeh shalom. When we believe that peace will come, we can see the beauty in everyone. When we believe that peace can be, we are children of one family. Yeh shalom, yeh shalom ba'olam, yeh shalom, yeh shalom, yeh shalom, yeh shalom ba'olam, yeh shalom, yeh shalom.
I was at the cemetery performing a funeral, and a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, showed up to the gravesite wearing a beautiful orange raincoat. I won't mention his name because he's here today, but a beautiful orange raincoat. And it got me to thinking, who decided that black would be the color of mourning? Or that blue would be for boys, and pink would be for girls, and so on and so forth. White for weddings, although in China it's red. And it's true that colors do sort of give us a sense of feeling sometime. And so I'm going to challenge you on this Shabbat evening to find your color for healing, whatever that color might be. And I want you to send that color out to someone in your life who is in need of a healing of the body or a healing of the spirit, and pray for them a refuah shlema, a complete healing, as on page 83 we sing together.
source of strength, who blessed the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheperach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So one of my all-time favorite Talmudic stories tells us about a woman. Well, of course it was a man, but you get the idea. So this woman is walking in the desert. She's tired, she's hungry, she's thirsty, and she comes upon this huge tree growing over a spring of water. It's bearing fruit and giving cool shade. And so the woman, she rests in the shade of the tree, she eats from its fruits, she drinks from the spring, and when she leaves, she says to the tree, "Oh, wonderful tree, how can I bless you? I would bless you that a spring of water should run near your roots, but you already stand over a spring. I would bless you that your shade be cool, but you already have such beautiful, cool shade. I would bless you that your fruits be sweet, but you already bear such sweet fruit. So my blessing for you," says the woman, "is, may it come to pass that all the seedlings that emanate from you grow to be as you are." So a few weeks ago, I shared this parable at the installation of Rabbi Jonathan Cohen. Now, you may remember him from my installation here at Temple more than 7 years ago, if you can believe it. Now, Jonathan was my Talmud professor in rabbinical school, my thesis advisor, which was arguably the worst job he's ever had, my boss when he became the dean of the campus and I worked in outreach, and he was also my classmate. He was ordained alongside me, the culmination of decades of teaching and learning on his part. Jonathan and I got to know each other during a particularly traumatic summer for me. My beloved grandmother had died. We moved into an apartment teeming with bed bugs. And then I had to leave Dan to deal with said parasites alone while I spent 7 long weeks away at camp. And also I had, in true Jen Lader fashion, ambitiously signed up for an advanced Talmud class that I was terribly unqualified to take. So I was mourning, suffering, traveling, studying that summer, and I needed the professor's permission to take the class without all the prereqs. So Jonathan set up a meeting with me at this little Chinese restaurant right off campus so that I could attempt to convince him that I could handle everything. So after we sat down at this table in the back, I launched directly into my argument, and he sat there listening, his hands clasped on the table in front of him. But after a while, he stopped me very gently, looked into my eyes, and said, "But Jen, how are you?" So I could tell you now about all the different ways that he helped me that summer, from offering to share his family's home with us as we dealt with our living situation, to teaching me remedial Talmud all hours of the day and night when he had much more important things to do, to checking in on me, my family, my mother in the weeks and months following our loss. But I know you want to get out of here sometime tonight. So suffice it to say, it was tremendous. It was far above and beyond anything in his job description. And I learned far more Torah from him by his actions than I ever did from the text. So this week, we're finishing off the book of Leviticus with Bechukotai, and we find this parsha full of these wonderful blessings and horrible curses to be distributed based on how many of God's laws we follow and how well we follow them. It's a challenging read, for sure. On the surface, it seems as though the Torah lays blame at our feet for anything that doesn't go our way. If our crops fail, if we suffer infertility, if our country is at war, if natural disasters strike our land. Now, for someone who simply cannot believe in a God who causes widespread famine if someone in this room mistakenly ate a cheeseburger, I read the text a little differently. Im bechukotai telechu ve'et mitzvotai tishmoru ve'asitem otam. If you follow the rules, if you walk in their ways, observe the commandments, and actually do them, all of those blessings, the blessings of peace and prosperity, joy and fulfillment come into play. It's the idea that studying isn't enough, that knowing what's right and what's wrong isn't enough, that we are expected as Jews to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And it means actually, physically caring for each other with our hands, not just knowing that it's important to do it. As we read in Pirkei Avot, one who learns Torah in order to teach is given the opportunity to learn and teach. One who learns Torah in order to do is given the opportunity to learn, to teach, and to do. To do is the real blessing. Perhaps it's the blessing to recognize that our hands and our feet and our voices are absolutely necessary in order to be God's partners on earth. And I think that's why that summer mattered to me so much. It solidified this relationship with a teacher, a mentor, who was deeply engaged in living the values he studied. And I can't tell you how sweet it was to stand before him and his new congregation, being together in that sacred space, sharing Talmud with my beloved teacher who taught me how to learn. It really doesn't get more Jewish than that. Rabbi Cohen taught me that Talmud isn't an ancient text. It's this preservation of the growing pains of the Jewish people, the arguments, the conversations of sages and scholars that challenged the status quo, that allowed our people to grow and evolve, and that recognized even long ago that the path forward isn't always easy and it won't always make everyone happy. But it's that these struggles, these questions and conversations make us who we are. They allow us to break open our tent even wider, to prune the garden, to shear the old trees in order for fresh saplings to bask in the warmth of the sun. I am one of those seedlings in the story, and so are you. We were planted by those who came before us, by our teachers, by our mentors, our parents, our biblical ancestors, and our modern heroes. These brilliant, brave, loving men and women watered and nurtured us, inviting us to grow roots in the nourishing soil of our people. We stand on their shoulders, and we bless them by continuing to cultivate the shade and the fruits of learning and building relationships and of doing Jewish together, savoring the brightness of the stories of our people amid the backdrop of the story of our Torah. And the fruits of this community are sweet and ripe. They are deep, and the future is bright. And as Jews on Shabbat, we express our gratitude through blessing. So please, if you would, repeat after me. Baruch atah Adonai. Borei peri ha'etz. Blessed are you, God, who created the fruits of this tree and this sacred opportunity that we have here tonight to plant our seeds together. Amen.
In the garden there's a tree planted by someone who only imagined me. What love, what vision. I marvel at the gift. No fruit could be sweeter than this. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me. Today my life is full of choice, because a young man raised his voice, because 'cause a young girl took a chance. I am freedom's inheritance. Years ago they crossed the sea, and they made a life that's come to me. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me. So in the garden I'll plant a seed, tree of life for you to read. The fruit will ripen in the sun. The words will sound when I am gone. These are the things I pass along, the fruit, the book, and the song. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me.
We now call upon Ellie Bicker, an officer of our congregation, to come forward for the congregational announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Well, Rabbi Jen, thank you for those beautiful and inspiring words. And to Scott and Evie, we wish you a lifetime of health and happiness and best wishes on your upcoming nuptials. And there's a lot going on at Temple this week, so I want to just give you a couple highlights. June begins with a week of amazing music at Temple. Join us for the Schmear concert this Sunday at 4 p.m. with moving performances expressing heartfelt intimacy to dazzling bravado. The Minneapolis Guitar Quartet thrill with their virtuosity and synchronization. The concert is open to the public and free of charge. And only 3 days later, we are very excited to present an afternoon show with the DSO on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Hai Shin Woo and members of his string quartet will share excerpts from the DSO's American Panoramic Music Festival. This concert is also open to the community free of charge. Then Thursday, June 6th, is our popular monthly game day at 1 p.m. Bring your friends and your favorite game. Coffee, tea, and snacks will be served. There is no charge, but please make reservations by this Monday. And finally, as Rabbi Josh mentioned earlier, we will have our first Shabbat under the stars June 14th. It's only 2 weeks from tonight, and we can't wait for that beautiful evening. The evening includes family activities at 5:45 p.m. and a Shabbat dinner at 6. But please make sure that you remember the service starts early. It's a half an hour earlier at 7 p.m. If you would like to join us for dinner, please RSVP by Monday, June 10th. For more information about any of our programs, check the information table as you leave, the website calendar, or contact Temple during normal business hours. On behalf of the officers and the members of the Board of Trustees, I wish each of you a Shabbat Shalom.
Rabbi Lader spoke beautifully about the blessing that one would give to the tree, and I have a blessing for all of you this evening. We should all only love Judaism and love life as much as Carissa Griffith does. And so we call her to the Bima in honor of her recent conversion to Judaism, as we call her and also all the children forward for the adoration on page 189.
Please be seated. These children and welcoming a new member of our Jewish community just make us smile and make us happy. We do have one additional announcement. Our Yifty teens packed bags for people that you run into on the street, homeless people, people who are in need, and we invite you to take as many bags as you want, put them in your car, and when you run into people and they need something from you, you can offer them one of these bags, and hopefully it will help them in their endeavors as well. Today we have many guests with us celebrating Shabbat and celebrating our bride and groom and our I want to call you a new Jew. Can I call you a new Jew? Our new Jew. Included among them are the staff for the Joy and Alan Nachman Teen Leadership to Israel program that is being run by Tamarack this summer, traveling with Rabbi Bennett. We have the coordinator of the Israel programming, Becca Fishman, and our madrachim, Erica Schumann, Zach Goldberger, and Brooke Nosenchuk. And we welcome you tonight as well and pray that your staff training this week is positive and fabulous and that you have a safe journey in Israel this summer. And so we turn from all of this joy and celebration to the task now of memory. And we remember those who've died in recent days in our families, in our community, the period of Shloshim. We remember Diane Bennis, Norma Berman, Florence Chaffetz, Jerry Chapnick, Marilyn Cohen, Leon Feig, Judy Frank, Norma Glazer, Barry Goldstein, Beverly Keller, Dodo Keeps, Dolores Licurto, Annette Lutz, Jean Liddy, Frank Manchel, David Mayerson, Dr. Jerry Michael, Zita Nyman, June Ostro, Vladimir Palak, Dr. Joseph Rivkin, Estelle Robbins, Judith Summers, Dorothy Sunny, Chelsea Smith, and Marion Weinberg. And to their names we add those whose yard sites fall at this time: Gertrude Ansbach, Louise Band, Kathy Berman, Lorraine Bortnick, Sam Cohen, Chester Colin, David Glasser, Miriam Goldman, Barbara Ann Kassoff, Max Katz, May Katz, Irving Kay, Louis Margolis, Nathan Marks, John Poland, Harry Poser, Samuel Rake, Frida Sands, Alan Schwartz, Sam Schwartz, Rosalind Silverman, Hyman Tepper, Gerald Traeger, Rose Tuttleman, George Victor, Milton Yolis, Max York, Rose Margolis Zalman, Zelda Goldberg-Levitt, Jenny Weinstein, Mark Chait, Frank Kraus, Ann Rake, Robert Selleck, Ruth Wasson, David Prussian, Sam Hack, Sylvia Sobel, Mary Macer, Paula Blair, Ruth Gavorin, Bernard Toby, Eugene Lunkin, David Davis, Jean Arkin, Ronald Finsilver, Leonard Hack, Joan Volchotz, Marilyn Cohen, and Burton Stern. Tehei Nishmotehem Soror B'Tzra Chaim, May their souls be bound up in the bond of everlasting life and memory. As we turn now to the words of Kaddish on page 199. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divra cherute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemeda Kudsha, Barichu, Laela, Min Ko, Birchata, Vashirata, Tush Bechata, Venechemata, Da Amiran, Bialma, Vimru, Amen. Yehe Shlama, Rabba, Min Shemaya, Bechayim, Alenu, Bealko, Yisrael, Vimru, Amen. Ose Shalom, Bimromav, Huya Ase Shalom, Alenu, Bealko, Yisrael, V'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen.
Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.